What is up, everybody? It's your boy Doody back again with another video, and this time we're taking a look at our boy DSP's daily rap video after a day of, well, I guess normal support. That's right, our boy Phil spent the podcast droning on, going on about low support, how Pigmata and his other playthroughs are failing. No one wants to watch or support that nonsense. Of course, complaining about views, engagement, trolls, and you have it. We even had a delusional segment where he went on and talked about how him and Asmongold are the same. That's right, they're the same person. God. The man is just beyond delusional. And of course, the latest meme, DSP with his wrinkled t-shirt with the neck hole that's way too big. And apparently it's a tank top. So the detractor memes are in full force with this 60-year-old geezer man wearing ill-fitting clothing. Let's just say that. Okay, so let's see what Phil had to say on the Daily Wrap.
Good evening, everyone. DSP here, and welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was Tuesday, the 28th of April, 2026. Essentially, it was the halfway point of my streaming week because this week I'm doing an exceptionally long 7 straight days of streams here on DSP Gaming. So how did it go? Pretty much it went as I expected, and what I mean by that is, if you remember yesterday, okay, basically we talked about why certain games just aren't working. Both Pragmata and now Vampire Crawlers, sadly, aren't really resonating with my main audience, not getting as much attendance, engagement, or support as the other games that I've been playing.
Bro, that is every single game you're playing. What are you talking about? Again, this statement right here just goes to show that he's full of shit when he talks about he cares about views, engagement, and support. The three-legged prong stool that supports DSP and Cat's massive weight, right? Which is nonsense. It's just about money. The only game that's getting funded out of that is probably Pokemon. The other ones are barely struggling to hit his 150 goal. And you notice the videos, or excuse me, the games he's talking about are ones that barely hit the $150 goal. So I want you guys to remember that when he comes out and he tries to tell you or convince you otherwise. It's nonsense, it's bullshit, it's just cope, all right? Because Pokemon barely gets 150 people to watch that nonsense, but it hits the goal, right? RimWorld, when he was playing RimWorld, he was barely cracking $120. And because of one dent coming out every stream and supporting it, he was hitting his goal. So the next time this... Oh, man, I'm trying to avoid getting smacked with TOS. The next time this balding geezer tries to tell you otherwise, just point him to this daily rap right here, okay? And point him to the fact, you know, the other thing too, you don't even need the daily rap for me to say that. Go to DSP Gaming and pull up his videos. Pull up his videos and look at his view count. His view counts are abysmal. Or go to Raw Phil and take a look at the Raw stream and see what the average viewership were for every stream, for every single stream. You can clearly, don't take my word, you can clearly go and do the analysis yourself to double check that, okay? Good God, man. But of course we can't, you know, we have to cope here. Phil has to cope because you know, he needs to make sure that him, especially Cat, he needs to make sure Cat believes that he's successful.
We even talked about that at length on today's Level 1 podcast. And honestly, it doesn't seem like there's a consensus as to why. What's weird is both Pragmata and Vampire Crawlers are games that in general are doing well. Sales-wise, player base-wise, they're very successful games. So why don't they resonate with my audience like other games do?
Okay, Phil, the consensus that you failed to read, because I know you were looking at chat, but if you go back and you look at the Raw Phil stream when he did the podcast, you can clearly see there was a consensus. The consensus was, we can't afford to give you $150 for every stream. It is ridiculous that you believe or think that it's acceptable to give you $150 per stream. That was the consensus statement throughout, that was fed throughout your Kick and also your YouTube chat. But you didn't want to bother looking at those comments, right? And yes, if you want to know, those specific comments actually were sprinkled all over your comment section, but you failed to read those, right? You wanted to look at the other things like the developers, or it's too slow, or something. No. And again, I just need to go back and anytime you want to debunk Phil, you just go back and look at his previous statements, all right? He's been saying the same thing about every playthrough. For like over the last couple years, it's been the same nonsense The initial premiere stream does well, and then it just drops. It falls off. Gee, I wonder why. Maybe it's because people are looking for streamers playing the game. They do a YouTube search, they pop that in. For some reason, you come up in their feed, probably because they get detractor content. They view your stream, your initial playthrough. They see the game, they see how terrible you are, and then they don't come back for the second video or the second stream. Again, Phil, Occam's razor. You know, the more plausible answer is typically the right one. And that's what we have here. But, of course, that's difficult when we're dealing with a delusional person like DSP.
And we talked about it and tried to figure it out on the podcast today, and we really couldn't come to a conclusion. It's just confusing. All right? So after a level 1 podcast, which, by the way, has a new intro, I'd like you to give it a look and give me feedback on it. We chilled, we hung out, we had a good time, and then we began with the Pokemon Fire Red stream, which was a little bit over 2 hours. It was around roughly two hours.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it here because you guys know that I do enjoy, you know, whenever Phil highlights specific things, I do like showing them. So you know what? Let's look at the intro because I did a short. That's right. This was so beyond ridiculous regarded. It was beyond regarded, right? That I'm gonna show it to you. I'm gonna stop it and show it to you. It's about 40 seconds. It's about 48 seconds long, folks. And here it is, folks. Let's watch this amazing. And again, you guys remember that I highlighted the fact that I believe that the editor doing content for DSP, doing editing his videos is a detractor. Right here, folks, this is clearly an example showing you that whoever's doing videos or editing videos for DSP is definitely a detractor. And he's just buying his time. He's buying his time until he comes out and either start sprinkling detractor memes, Tevin, little Tevins all over the place. Give him some time, brother. Give him some time. So this is what he decided what would be cool for Phil's level 1 intro. Do I need to say more, folks? I think we could put a pin in this argument. Whoever's doing his videos and creating content for him is definitely a detractor. Or like, you know, indifferent. You know what I mean? He thinks he's going to take a jab here and there at Phil. This is one of the most regarded things I've ever seen. I mean, it's just beyond super gay. It is. I mean, I understand owning the meme and trying to put something out there that's remotely funny. But this isn't it. You know what I mean? It does not highlight you in any way positively. It's clearly AI music, pretty crappy AI music. And, yeah, it just, I guess the editor's going for, okay, I gotta make it look like this is something DSP would create. And, I think he nailed it there. Yes, this would be a DSP style effort, intro that Phil would actually put out and think it's good. And yeah, it's not good. And I'm not just saying that because I'm a DSP detractor. You guys know that whenever DSP does something okay or normal, I'll give him props for it. I'll give him the round of applause. Yeah, definitely. You know, I'm not one of those people that can't, you know, highlight people's positives, but boy, this isn't it, man. All right, let's keep going, folks.
15 minutes, 2 hours, 20 minutes today. What do we do on Pokemon Fire Red? Well, we finished up the Sylph Company, so we cleared it out of Team Rocket and kicked them out of town in, I think it was Saffron City. Then, because Team Rocket was gone, we were able to take on the next gym, which was the Psychic Gym with Sabrina, the head, you know, a gym leader. We took that out. Then, we jumped on Lapras, and we surfed our way down the route all the way to the Seafoam Islands, and we went inside that Seafoam Cave and started doing stuff in there, and then we ran out of time. We managed to recruit a bunch of new Pokemon, which was awesome to catch and name a bunch of new Pokemon. We actually went back and evolved my Magikarp, which was cool. And we are continuing to level up and build certain Pokemon. For example, we are trying to get the Dratini, which evolved into the Dragonair. We're trying to level that guy up. We're now also leveling Lapras. So we are getting to a place where we're going to have a good slew of and variety of Pokemon. And here's the best part. We got Farfetch'd out of the party. We don't need him anymore for cut. So he's out, and we now have a full party of 6 usable Pokemon for the first time in ages, okay? Attendance was great. Support was great. So this is what I mean. Dependent on the game, it seems to determine how many people will show up and have a good time and support the stream.
Let me stop it. Great was 160 people watching his content. That's great in DSP's eyes. I guess if you're comparing that to your normal 120 or 130, I guess 160 would be good. But it's garbage. Again, this is a content creator who's been around for over 18 years, has 230,000 subs, has multiple channels, had Asmongold twice on his, well, you know, got rated and did an interview with him once. Did multiple things with Keemstar. Did an 8-month stint with Kino Casino. This is someone who, you know, isn't a small little peon that hasn't been given multiple chances. No, this is someone who countless times has been given chances over chances over chances, opportunities and opportunities. And this is where he's at, where he's excited about 160 viewers on the live stream. Okay, Phil, if that's successful to you, then I must be beyond successful, because I can average on a slow stream, I average 400 viewers. On a good stream for my podcast, I get about 600 to 700. And if there's something major, I can easily get 1,000 people to come to my streams, Phil. Jeez Louise, okay, Phil, whatever. All right, let's keep going.
Really is game specific. People love me playing Pokemon. So we had a great time with Pokemon Chill Vibes today and a great podcast. Check it all out if you haven't yet. It's all live on the channel. Then on the night stream, it was time for Mouse PI for Hire to continue. And tonight was a great night. There were basically 2 big plot lines that opened up. And so what we did is we did one big boss fight, and it unlocked 2 missions at the movie studio. We did one.
And real quick, one other thing I want to highlight too is that, again, every time there's a slow stream or a slow day or multiple slow streams, DSPs decide to spend his daily rap and his podcast talking about financial matters, talking about his stream, how he's not getting enough support, how the games aren't resonating, how the developers are stupid, whatever, right? Every single time he does that, what happens? His Dents feel so convicted that they need to come out and support multiple streams. And that's what happened yesterday. Yesterday, he badgered his fucking viewers for 2 hours or 2.5 hours on a podcast talking about money, support, viewerships, whatever. And what happened? The Dents felt bad. A couple people came in and wailed out for him. And wailing out meant he hit the goal. He made about $150 on his first playthrough and about $150 on the night stream. So it wasn't like they even came in and wailed out for him and gave him $300-400. No, they got him to his goal. And some of that too, Phil, you need to understand, is some of these Dents, brother, the Velcro wallet doesn't have the money, the infinite money glitch. They're probably waiting for Friday for your marathon stream because you decided to do yet again another fucking marathon where you're going to sit there and beg for 10 hours and expect people to give you thousands of dollars. Just... I mean, honestly, I know I'm kind of repeating myself, and anyone that comes and checks these videos out, it seems a consistent pattern of me yelling and bitching about him, talking about money, support, and so on, but I really think that this should be highlighted. It's scumbags like this that ruin the sector for content creators. You know what I mean? Because you see someone like this, you interact with someone like this, and you think all content creators are this way, and they're not. I mean, there's a small pool of about maybe 5% of content creators that are this fucking greedy and scumbags, you know, but the vast majority of content creators are pretty nice people that just, you know, do it for a living or do it for a hobby and enjoy, you know, broadcasting themselves. And then you get this decrepit 44-year-old geezer who just, you know, just leaves a bad taste in everyone's mouth. God.
With a big boss fight at the end. Then we did another with 2 big boss fights at the end, and it actually completed one of the cases of the game. So apparently the story of Mouse PI for Hire is more than just one investigation and case that you're doing. And it was fun. Like, it was actually some really cool stuff tonight on the movie set. Without spoiling, references to popular animated films, features, and other movies that actually exist in real life. And people really liked the references. I thought it was actually done really well. I got to mess around with some colors and stuff like that. So you'll see what I mean when you watch the footage tonight. By the way, guess what? Attendance, engagement, and support were all great. And we had another great night together with Mouse PI for Hire. So yeah, I mean, after that discussion on the podcast today, I just have absolutely no idea why certain games like Pragmata and Vampire Crawlers work for other streamers, but not for me. But then certain games like Pokemon and Mouse PI for Hire are working really well. I would have thought for sure Pragmata, which is the big budget game from a AAA studio, amazing graphics, right? Interesting gameplay, a unique story. I thought that would have been the game that resonated, but instead it's Mouse PI for Hire. I never thought that this game would have done as well as it's doing, but I'm pleased that it is. Like, I'm happy that Mouse PI is continuing on and doing really well. It is a longer game. Like, we actually looked at the end of the night, and there were 8 locations left on the map for us to do. And I was actually told by someone at the tail end of the stream, there's a secret level that opens up at the end of the game. So there's technically 9 levels left. Now, not every level is super long. All right. So we are more than halfway done with the game, but it could still be several streams until we see the end of Mouse PI for Hire. All right. So for those wondering, we are doing more Mouse PI on Thursday night's late stream. So if you liked it tonight, come on back Thursday night, or if you're watching on demand, there'll be more videos coming out Thursday night as well. Okay. All right. Now, tomorrow, let's talk about the day. First of all,
okay, I want to stop it. All right, Phil. Look, I know you like to do experiments. Here's an experiment for you, Phil. The next time you have a couple slow streams, right, where you didn't hit your goal, your support, don't automatically go to the audit meeting for the daily wrap and then hold your dents hostage for 2 hours bitching about money and support. Keep quiet. I guarantee you, brother, that next stream will be a dud as well. The only reason why, Phil, you hit your goal after multiple days of not hitting your goals is because people honestly, Phil, I think you have a subsection of people that feel sorry for you. And they feel like, oh, I gotta support Phil because he's not gonna be able to feed his obese wife, so I gotta give him money, right? You got that segment of the population, and then you have another segment that kind of likes your content, and they're just like, they feel beat down by you, and they're like, God, he's begging again. Here, man, here's $2. Please shut up. Stop talking about support. Stop talking about money. Just shut up. Play the video game. You have a segment of those people that support you. And then, of course, you have the people that just hate you and need to vent and drop a couple bucks on you to just shit on you because you're a shitty person, right? That's the category there, man. And you do it every single time. Every single time you get a slow string of streams, you do this shit. You pull the same fucking card. Either that or you start bitching about detractors and how detractors are ruining your life. And then you get those subsection of dents that come out and decide to throw money your way for whatever reason. I'm sure that will continue running on until the day you retire, Phil. The one thing, Phil, is when you're a one-trick pony and you keep using that trick over and over again, eventually, Phil, people grow tired of it. And it gets ignored. And that's what's going to happen here, Phil. And he does this at least 4 or 5 times a month. 4 or 5 times a month, he brings out the whole, it's an emergency, the sky's falling, the business is in trouble. Or my detractors. Every single fucking month without failure. Sometimes it's more, especially if support's slow. And of course, we're going to get that more now, because God, man, Kick is abysmal this month. Once Kick dries up completely, once your future stepdad, turns into Timbo Slice and has to file for bankruptcy himself, that Kick support, man, he's going to just probably stop streaming on Kick. Alrighty, folks. I think I went a little bit too long here. It's over 18, almost 19 minutes, but we had fun here reacting to this clown. Jesus Christ. Alrighty, folks. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out.